Hello and welcome to another poll review where we see what the YouTube fam is thinking about. Now, we're a little bit late because I had the meme tournament, and on Saturday I just did not have a voice, which is when is usually I record these, so we'll see. We're just going to do 7 polls and we'll pick up next time. We're a little behind. So, starting with the first one, I was really curious. I think I covered it a little bit last week. I just wanted to touch on it briefly as a result this week. How much money do you spend on gwent kegs or card-focused purchases? I thought this one was really interesting, where most people don't spend anything. Most people truly treat it like a free-to-play game. There is a little over 50%, or a little less than 50%, that will spend money on this kind of a purchase, with some spending over $100. Fun fact, I'm in that category. From closed beta, I think I put in 70, and I put 70 in the way of the Witcher, and then haven't needed to obviously put money in cents, because between that and all my grinding, I have way too much. I thought this was an interesting stat on whether the gwent kegs and card purchases will ever start to be minimized and how important it is, but I actually don't think that's the case. I think there is an argument actually to make it more consumer friendly, even though it's already very consumer friendly, but I don't think it's going away, particularly because of this next one. What is your current goal in gwent? Which is very fascinating because over 27% of players are trying to collect cards. That means even though a lot of players don't spend, there's enough players, I think, here that are collecting that there is value in never making gwent totally free to play where everybody has every card. People actually seem to really value collecting cards. I do think it's important to note a lot of people just play the game for fun, where they're just cranking out the game, they're playing their matches and having a good time. For what people are saying here, just in love with the characters and the history of the world. Even if it's sometimes difficult to enter the game because of the bounce, I just go in for the characters. I love this universe so much. And the second comment, and I think that's nice, I think it's one of the things that really keeps people in the world, this value of the Witcher lore and world sucking people in. And the second one is, I just play the game for deck building. I can't win with them, but it's fun to build decks. My only goal is to build decks. Just the value of collecting cards, building cool decks, and just getting sucked into the world. These are all really interesting. I also like how there's a number of players who just have a good time because of the world, and they don't need the goals. They're just here because of it. Let's catch up with the chat real fast. It looks like McRander spends money to support the esports scene in game. That's awesome. Catching up. I like the answer because they have the option. The goal is to create mad memes. Sorry. Indeed, there is no mad meme option here. But I think this one for me indicates that will CDPR ever give everything away for free? No. I think it's important to keep in mind that a lot of people aren't here because they have a set goal, or likewise, they're actually grinding the ladder, but ranked is probably not nearly as important as it appears. A lot of people are just saying, you know what? I enjoy the game. I'm collecting stuff, or I'm just playing it for fun, and that I don't have a goal category. Good time. I wanted to gauge on the next one how excited you are for the new reveals. Of the 2-month cycle coming along, people were complaining on Reddit that, hey, it's hard to get excited, or there's just too much going on, it's too volatile. But I can see here that most people are really excited. Just over 10% of players are not excited or dreading it. But most people are indifferent. Like, fine, you know, they don't care, but well, what is it? Let's see, 30, 60, almost 70% of players are excited or very excited. You see the first comment here, it's just related to how much people like the spoilers for Wticher. Let's see. Second comment though, the hype isn't the same. I had Way of the Witcher Master Mirror, but I'm always interested in new cards. A lot of the price of power main lists are not fun in my opinion. Relic, Line Pockets, and Flurry. Another comment, I like them adding back the old leader cards. They're always cool. Another comment here, just grabbing them pretty random here. Nothing seems to be highly ranked here. Is there a way I can just comments? Let's see, interesting. Some of the older comments that have more likes are down below. Let's check out what Mr. Perfection says. Always excited, but not nearly as much as a year or two ago. What excites me is the new balance, though it's probably going to be disappointing too. And John, this one catch my eye as well. I'm kind of indifferent after seeing the other 2 parts of the expansion. However, I'm curious to see the bounce changes though. I think part of the hype has gone away because of how powerful the first 2 card drops were and influential in the meta. But I think the excitement is still there, and as CDPR gets better at the balancing and designing the new cards at appropriate power levels, people actually, I think, will get more hyped about it. but the damage was not significant. Of over 2,700 votes, nearly 70% of people are content. They're excited, or very excited, and they're pumped, and they're ready to go. As the balance improves, I think you'll see more people gravitate up here. I think the indifferent group is turned off by the sheer amount of quantity, not the quantity of cards, but how powerful they are. And that's why we're seeing that trend of balance changes. Is Gwent too complex? I feel like I talked about this one. Maybe I'm crazy. Well, maybe I'm not. We're going to keep going. If I repeated polls, I thought I did an okay job. But is it too complex? I thought this one's fascinating because more people want complexity, right? If everyone is really happier and saying it's perfect, it'd be a bell curve. Some people would be saying I want it simpler. Some people saying I want it more complex, but most people say it's perfect. There is room to keep going towards complexity, which is great because it makes me so happy. I'm a big fan of complexity. Let's see what people said. Because more complexity, more interesting interactions. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. And I think we already see that trend coming. And I wrote top comments, so we're going to ignore mine. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. I mean, if my opponent pulls some combo I didn't know it existed, it's always fun. Also, reading your opponent's plays and have a tool to counter to them. Not necessarily their removal. Sheer knowledge of the game is just fun. That's why early players, at least for me and my friends, were way more fun for the high-ranking players because unpredictable of their collections and knowledge of the game. Next comment. I feel like Gwent is becoming more and more complicated, but I don't think it's already too complex. I think, yes, I agree with what Simon or Sismon is saying here. It's become more complicated, but not too bad. And I agree with Barbara in terms of what's fun. Knowledge is fun. Exercising that knowledge, having cool cards of interesting tools to punish your opponent's plays, all that's fun. And I think the complexity adds to that. So I hope we keep moving in this direction. I really like it. And welcome, by the way. We got Louis, Chinley, Persian Baby Boy, Sadiq, Gascon. So many people sneak in the chat. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I like the direction. I hope we continue down the path. Next. This is just a reaction to new Scoia'tael cards, and most people actually really liked them. They like them. Some people love them, and think something they're fine. That makes up 90% of the people. Only 5% didn't like them, and 4% hated them. Let's go ahead and take a look. Torque might give a well-needed nudge to ST hand buff. You're not kidding. Bountiful Harvest also seems good. I think that might become an understatement. Wticher is terrible, and Philodendron might be playable with Torque and other hand card buffs. Invigorate may actually be playable. Not expecting to be a meta, but playable. They are fine, I guess. Torque looks pretty good. I think this is interesting. I think people are excited that hand buff's getting love. I don't think people were expecting hand buff to get love. We've seen so much spell Scoia'tael. Probably was expecting more of that. But hey, old archetype that people like, getting rewarded. This poll might age poorly in terms of hand buff is always a dangerous archetype because it's all carryover based. So I'm able to win round 1 with carryover. I'm probably going to win round 3 or have a really nasty bleed in round 2. We'll see how this poll ages. But right now, people are liking it. Meme tournament was a huge success. Nothing really to stop here. This one is, I'm not even going to stop on the comments here. I confess, I totally abused the poll system just to get out the meme tournament heads up. And I gave an option for people to complain about it. But a lot of people were interested in the meme tournament. Just under 40% had some kind of, or just under 50% had some kind of interest. Whether you're playing in it, signing up to join it off of this poll, seeing me cast it on Twitch, or watching it on YouTube. There was some excitement about it, given the poll. Let's see, 3 days ago, what would that put us? 3 days ago, it's Monday, so it would have been Sunday. So we have like 2 more polls to go through before I stop. Let's see, this was a Nilfgaard wrap-up, and we see this one still have that bit of a bell curve, but more people are hating on Nilfgaard. I kind of expected that. Nilfgaard is really make or break. Checking out the result. Bit concerned about Practitioner being abused, and Vilgefortz seemed overcosted. Maybe because of the Practitioner interaction, but generally pretty happy. I like Graveyard interaction themes. Feels very Nilfgaardian. I think it's all well said. I'm actually pretty happy they killed Vilgefortz overcosted. It's a dangerous card. Very powerful, in fact. So, it's good, it's good. For Illusionist, I keep seeing having 2 on board, grabbing monster piggies, and then playing the gold that replays the ploy effects of 2 soldiers, making 13 points of pure pig with 8 plus with Sabbath. /T. I don't get what that is. I'm sure this will not age well, and some of the comments will let me know what they mean by H/T. Oh my gosh, we're getting bot rated? I'll let that's annoying. I'm gonna in case this ends up being a hate raid, I'm gonna go ahead and just put on sub only chat for about 2 seconds. What do? I will deal with it in 2 seconds. Don't you worry, Lockcock. Going back to this, I'm gonna go ahead and kill the Streamlabs alerts for a moment and focus on this, and I'll deal with that afterwards. Don't you worry. Big concern about practitioner, or basically carrying on, so we can wrap this one up. I think it's an interesting call out where, oh, whoops, didn't mean down by your post. Sorry, my friend. I think it's interesting to call out the interactions with orders and order bronzes, and in this case, the piggies, which tick every single turn. That's pretty fantastic, and I like what I see here. Sweet. And then the final one, I won't even read the comments. It was such a dumpster fire. Triss versus Yen. I was being mean. I wanted to bait everybody in with a very innocent question and then hit him with that Triss versus Yen. I was surprised at how split it was, to be frank. Triss is 40%, Yen slightly more popular at 60%. To my knowledge, I'm not a lore person. Yennefer being, without a doubt, the more critical person from the books, and maybe even the show as well, which I have not watched. Triss is really popular because of the games. It's fascinating. It's wonderful. And I was just sorry for the bait. Wanted to see if I could stir up conflict. Thank you all for another poll review. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Now it's time to go deal with some kind of bot spam. And thank you, everyone. And I hope you guys keep participating. Love you guys. Shoutouts to Ahmed Ali McRandar and Pseudonym81 for all their generous support on the Patreon.